Get ready to see your favorite country music stars before they were famous. Blake Shelton started out with long curly hair and a big smile, releasing his debut album in 2001 and quickly becoming a superstar. Follow the link for more photos of country music's biggest names before they were hunky and famous. Brandi Carlile, who gained recognition with her debut album, performed in Chicago in 2007. The singer's appearance was a baby-faced one, but her voice and talent were undeniable. Read more about the biggest scandals in country music. Hank Williams Jr., known as Bocephus, poses for a promotional photo in the 1970s. This Southern rock, blues, and country music legend was recently inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Check out the link to see more vintage photos of famous musicians. In 2001, country singer Dierks Bentley's debut album, Don't Leave Me in Love, flopped. But after signing with Capitol Records, he released a self-titled studio album in 2003 which included his first hit, What Was I Thinkin'? Here's a throwback photo of Bentley at the ACM Awards in 2005. Country icon Reba McEntire's career skyrocketed in 1979 with her hit single, Last Night, Every Night, off her sophomore album, Out of a Dream. Her self-titled debut album was released in 1977, launching her onto the country music scene. Late country music legend Kenny Rogers' changing appearance through the years had many speculating about plastic surgery. In a 2012 interview, the singer admitted he and Dolly Parton joked about it but said he was happy with his decision. Learn more about iconic rock couples through the years. Country music superstar Alan Jackson is celebrating the 30th anniversary of his debut album, Here in the Real World, which included his first #1 hit. The album was released in February 1990 and features iconic songs like Wanted and the title track. Jackson has since become a legend in the country music industry, selling over 75 million records and earning multiple Grammy Awards. Randy Travis released his debut album, Storms of Life, in 1986. He's pictured here the following year. Tim McGraw's debut album in 1993 failed, but he quickly turned his fortune around with the release of his second album, Not a Moment Too Soon, in 1994. The album soared to the top of the charts and marked the beginning of a successful music career. Country music legends Rascal Flatts have officially called it quits after 20-plus years of making music together. The trio made the announcement earlier this year, marking the end of an era. Joe Don Rooney, Jay DeMarcus, and Gary LeVox will forever be remembered as one of the most successful country groups of all time. Surprising photo reveals early career look of country music legend Willie Nelson, with a clean-cut appearance and no sign of his iconic long hair or bandana. Photo circa 1967. Trisha Yearwood's debut album and hit single, She's in Love with the Boy, dropped in 1991. Today, over 30 years later, she remains a beloved country music icon. Country music legends Billy Ray Cyrus and Travis Tritt are both known for their iconic mullets. While Cyrus may have gotten more attention, Tritt also rocked the controversial hairstyle in the early 90s. A picture from 1991 shows Tritt sporting the mullet shortly after his debut album release. Legendary singer-songwriter Emmylou Harris looks just as stunning as ever in a recent photo. Over 50 years since her debut album, Harris's talent remains undeniable, even as her hair turns silver. Keith Urban looks unrecognizable in a 1993 photo. Moving to the US in 1989, he became the lead singer of The Ranch and released his first album in 1997. He later found success in 1999 with hits such as Where the Blacktop Ends and You're Everything. Born in New Zealand and raised in Australia, Keith has come a long way. Country music star Kenny Chesney got his start in 1994 with his debut album, In My Wildest Dreams, which included hits Whatever It Takes and The Tin Man. Though it didn't top charts, it launched his career. American Idol winner Carrie Underwood's debut album, Some Hearts, in 2005 introduced her to the country music scene. The Oklahoma native's rich vocal talent has since made her a pop music royalty, winning numerous awards and accolades. She was just 22 when she appeared on the Today Show. In 1987, Dwight Yoakam won the Academy of Country Music Award for Top New Male Vocalist. A photo of him from that year has surfaced, showing the dashing country music star in his prime. Jason Aldean hasn't changed much since his 2005 debut album hit the airwaves. It went platinum and gave him his first hit singles, including Why, which reached #1 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. He obviously has amazing genetics. Johnny Cash, the country music icon, had a dapper look when he first began performing in the 1950s. He maintained his looks and talent throughout his highly successful career, selling over 90 million records worldwide. He remains one of the best-selling artists of all time. In 1992, Billy Ray Cyrus made a big splash in music with his mullet and best-selling album, Some Gave All. The album's lead single, Achy Breaky Heart, even went platinum. George Strait's portrait from 1980 has resurfaced, taken a year before the release of his first album. Despite his current salt and pepper look, he still remains a certified heartthrob. Country pop singer Martina McBride, known for hits like Independence Day, made her mark in the early 90s with her debut album, The Time Has Come. Despite losing the iconic shoulder pads, her music remained rooted in country appeal. In 1986, Garth Brooks released his first album, Hungry Years. In 1990, his hit song, Friends in Low Places, made him a household name. Pictured in 1991, Brooks was in his late 20s and had already made a big impact on the country music scene. Country music legend George Jones first topped the charts in 1959 with White Lightning. He went on to become one of the genre's greatest singers. Jones died in 2013 at age 81. Steve Earle's iconic side-swept hair was on display in a 1986 photo shoot. The same year marked the release of his debut studio album, Guitar Town. Music legend, Dolly Parton, released her debut album, Hello, I'm Dolly, in 1967. A beautiful portrait of the blonde artist has surfaced, taken circa 1970. Crystal Gayle, famous for hits like Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue, is known for her long, luscious locks. Fun fact, she's the younger sister of Loretta Lynn, a country music icon. Loretta Lynn, the late country music icon who passed away in 2022, was famous for her classic 1960s bouffant hairstyle. She has sold over 45 million albums worldwide and holds the record for most awards received by a female country singer, with 24 #1 hit singles and 11 #1 albums. Legendary country singer Tanya Tucker started her career at just 14 years old with her debut album, Delta Dawn, in 1972. By 1975, she had released her fourth album at the age of 17. Today, Tucker is remembered as one of country music's most iconic voices. Lee Greenwood went from playing mostly pop tunes to becoming a country music star with his hit singles in the early 80s. He released his patriotic hit, God Bless the USA, in 1984, which became wildly popular during the Gulf War in 1991 and after the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Country music star, Trace Adkins, hasn't aged a day since his debut album, Dreamin' Out Loud, in 1996. A photo from the 1997 Academy of Country Music Awards shows Adkins holding his top new male vocalist trophy with the same iconic look. Alison Krauss, the famous bluegrass country singer, looked quite different when she rose to fame in the late 1980s. In a throwback photo from the Grammys in 1993, Krauss was sporting curly brown hair, a far cry from her signature blonde locks today. Country singer Lee Brice made waves with his 2010 debut album, Love Like Crazy, and was often seen wearing a backwards baseball cap during that time. Country singer Toby Keith is just as talented today as he was in 1993 when he released his first album, despite losing his famous mullet. A snap from that year shows a young and fresh-faced Keith ready to take over the music world. Little Big Town, a country music quartet, formed in 1998 in Alabama. The group is made up of Jimmy Westbrook, Kimberly Schlattman, Karen Fairchild, and Philip Sweet. Their debut album was released in 2002. Patty Loveless, who debuted at 30 in 1987, made history by performing at London's Wembley Arena the same year. In 2006, Taylor Swift released her self-titled debut album at the age of 16. 2 months later, her single, Our Song, topped the Hot Country Songs chart, making her a superstar. Maren Morris began touring as a child and gained critical acclaim after releasing her first studio album in 2016. The Chicks' rise to fame began in 1998 with Wide Open Spaces. The trio rocked bold 90s ensembles at the 1999 Academy of Country Music Awards. In 2003, mainstream music fans were introduced to Miranda Lambert after she came in third place on Nashville Star. Despite her debut album being released in 2001, it wasn't until this competition that her talent was recognized, leading to a contract with Sony Records. Country superstar Luke Bryan has defied the passage of time with his ageless style since his debut in 2007. The American Idol judge has maintained his youthful charm and energy, leaving fans wondering what his secret is. Chris Stapleton rose to fame as the frontman of bluegrass group The Steel Drivers in 2007. While his look has remained constant, his success as a solo artist has skyrocketed, earning him numerous Grammys, ACM Awards, and CMA Awards. Florida Georgia Line makes a splash with their 2012 debut album, Here's to the Good Times, landing at #1 on the country charts. Since then, the band has released several more successful albums and both members are now married. Country star Luke Combs has released his first EP, The Way She Rides, in 2014. Since then, he has released 2 studio albums, including 2019's What You See Is What You Get. Country music star Kane Brown's rise to fame began with his 2014 social media presence. He released his EP, Closer, in 2015 and followed it up with his self-titled debut album in 2016, which topped the charts and went double platinum. Dan and Shay have been making music together since 2013. They released their debut album, Where It All Began, which includes hit singles, 19 You Plus Me, Show You Off, and Nothing Like You. Country music sensation Brad Paisley had a breakout year in 1999 with his debut album, Who Needs Pictures, featuring hit singles, He Didn't Have to Be, and We Danced. The album jump-started Paisley's career and set the stage for his continued success in the industry. Maddie and Tay released their first album, Start Here, in 2015. The duo has made strides in the country music scene and continues to gain popularity. Kelsea Ballerini is a country music star who has achieved a lot since her debut album in 2015. Her singles, Love Me Like You Mean It, Dibs, and Peter Pan all hit #1 on the Billboard Country Airplay chart, making her the first female artist to have her first 3 singles top the chart. Cassidy Pope, winner of The Voice, started out as a pop-rock musician with Hey Monday. She released her solo EP in 2012 and debuted her first country album, Frame by Frame, in 2013. Brett Young, a rising star in country music, made a splash with his hit single, Sleep Without You, in 2014. His second album, Ticket to LA, came out in 2018. Country singer Gretchen Wilson made a name for herself with hit single, Redneck Woman, in 2004. Her signature look has remained the same over the years. Jake Owen, the Florida native, started his music career in 2006. He recently chopped off his signature shaggy locks, and has been topping country music charts ever since. Thomas Rhett, son of country singer Rhett Akins, has risen to stardom in his own right with several #1 hits. The crooner has transformed his look from scruffy to sophisticated since his breakout in 2012. Gabby Barrett, American Idol alum, finished third in season 16 at just 17 years old. She released her debut single, I Hope, the following year, and it has since gone 4 times platinum. Country singer Kacey Musgraves released her debut album, Movin' On, in 2002. In 2007, she appeared on the show Nashville Star, but didn't win. However, this didn't stop her from becoming a successful singer-songwriter. Lucinda Williams won her first Grammy in 1994 for Passionate Kisses. A photo from her performance in Chicago 2 years prior shows her talent. Faith Hill's first album, Take Me As I Am, debuted in 1993 when she was just 26 years old. Looking back at a photo from that year, it's clear that she hasn't aged a day. Her perfectly coiffed curls are just about the only difference. In 1996, LeAnn Rimes released her debut studio album, Blue, at the age of 13 years and 11 months old. This impressive feat came after the young artist had already released 3 independent albums. Darius Rucker, former Hootie and the Blowfish lead singer, started a solo career in country music with his album, Learn to Live, in 2008. The album went platinum and is still his best-selling work to date. Country superstar Eric Church has gone through a major transformation since the release of his first album, Sinners Like Me, in 2006. He's traded in his hipster look for a new style, but one thing that hasn't changed is his amazing musical talent. Here's a blast from the past, a photo of country singer Brett Eldredge in 2010, before he released his first album. The picture shows a fresh-faced Eldredge, who would go on to become a beloved country star. Lady A, the popular country music trio, made their red carpet debut at the CMA Awards in 2007, a year before releasing their first studio album. Dave Haywood, Hillary Scott, and Charles Kelly have since become a staple in the country music scene. Shania Twain's debut album in 1993 was a flop, but just 2 years later, she released The Woman in Me, which went 12 times platinum and included her first hit single, Any Man of Mine. Country singer Connie Smith receives a Grammy nomination for her first single, Once a Day, in 1964. The picture of her from 1973 is seen. The Oak Ridge Boys, known for hits like Elvira and Bobby Sue, started as a gospel group before transitioning to country music. The same lineup that delivered those hits in the mid-70s is still together today. The group has won multiple Grammy Awards and is now in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Country music star Chris Young wins the 4th season of Nashville Star in 2006, launching his successful career. Lauren Alaina, a former American Idol contestant, released her debut studio album, Wildflower, in 2011. Ryan Hurd, now known as a songwriter-turned-singer and married to Maren Morris, has undergone a makeover since his 2015 picture was taken. He has chopped off his long locks, upgraded his wardrobe and released his first single, We Do Us, in 2017. Country music star Jon Pardi released his debut studio album, Write You a Song, in 2014, featuring popular singles like Missin', You Crazy, and Up All Night. Sam Hunt, known for his hit songs, Body Like a Back Road, and Take Your Time, released his first album, Montevallo, in 2014. Prior to his solo success, he wrote songs for country stars like Keith Urban and Reba McEntire. Country singer Dustin Lynch is known for his love of wide-brim cowboy hats. Despite growing as an artist over the years, his fashion sense has remained the same since his debut album in 2012. A true cowboy at heart. Jordan Davis's song, Singles You Up, topped the Billboard Country Airplay chart in 2017. The country singer made his debut in the music industry with that song.